Yesterday, you introduced the Keeping Violent Offenders Off Our Streets Act. Tell me about it.
Yeah, when Darrell Brooks was released on $1,000 bond, it certainly, I think, demonstrated once again that not only Chisholm certainly is incompetent, which I think many of us that have been in and around his actions over the last 20-some years knew, but unfortunately, it was clearly demonstrated in this case. And then a governor who is reluctant to simply do his job and fire Chisholm. We tried to come up with a strategy, and I'm still open to what other members of Congress might want to do on this, or some things that maybe they would be uncomfortable with. But there's a grant program that the feds hand out cash to municipal level as well as the state level. It's called the Burn Grant Program, and it's funding that is all part of the consideration on pretrial release. We came up with a system that says, listen, if you're not going to provide that information so that we know that these people can be accountable, instead of seeing this tap dance like Chisholm has been doing now for the last year as we come upon the anniversary of what happened in Waukesha, then you're going to have that funding reduced. I mean, it seems to be the only thing that might get a Democrat DA's attention when it comes to making sure that they don't ignore some of these previous cases like we saw with Brooks. So, like I said earlier, it's something that would cut across state lines. It would be more information that would be available to the DAs and the judges, and then ultimately, I think, would give a more complete picture of these dirtbags that continue to end up in front of a judge on a regular basis.
Ultimately, though, isn't the only way to ensure that appropriate bails are set to vote for district attorneys and judges who will set appropriate bail?
Absolutely. And I think, one of the things that this would do would demonstrate and prove that, there is an ignorance as to whether or not they have all of the information before them. Because that's clearly what we've been getting from Chisholm and some of these other DAs is that, well, this was something that was shuffled through the system, or we didn't have all the information, or we were unaware of these other crimes that were committed in another state. We just didn't have kind of a complete picture. So, what I think, and we should work towards this and also come up with additional items that absolutely demonstrate and underscore the idea that everybody knew what was going on here, and either a DA completely chose to disregard that when it came to bail. And that would be one way that voters could certainly hold them accountable.